Hi everybody, welcome to my channel. My name is Sharon and this is a channel that is dedicated to all things related to narcissism. I've been married to a covert narcissist for close to 20 years. I'm separated from him now, and what I do with this channel is I use my real life experiences to get information out there to people about what narcissism really is, what it looks like, what it does to you, and what it does to your family. In today's video, I'm going to talk about stonewalling, which is also known as the silent treatment. So what that is a refusal to engage in verbal or written communication in response to a conflict in a relationship. That is a nice, neat, tidy way to say it's when you're treated horribly by somebody that's supposed to love you. When a narcissist gives you the silent treatment, and it's almost always a covert narcissist who is going to give the silent treatment, it is a toxic form of emotional abuse. It is when they ignore your texts, your phone calls. They won't respond to emails if you're in the same room with them. They will either outright ignore you. They're erasing you from existence. You might as well be a chair in the room. That's how they treat you. And how somebody treats you shows you exactly how they feel about you. Narcissists are toxic people. They're emotionally abusing you when they give you the silent treatment. There's really no other way to say it. Silence is very loud. Now, if you are being given the silent treatment, the person is purposely hurting you. These are toxic people who know what they're doing. That's the most difficult thing to accept when you're given the silent treatment, because when you're given the silent treatment, you are so confused. You don't know what's happening. How can this be? Nothing makes sense, because people who are in relationships with narcissists are basically rational people. These aren't people whose whole lives are a lie. Narcissists, they live lies. Everything about them is phony and false. They don't have a real existence. They spend their time trying to stay one step ahead of their secret lives. And the thing is, when they're given a silent treatment, it's almost always because the narcissist has done something wrong. Because if you had done something wrong, they're very happy to talk about it because they love to have you do things wrong. They love to talk about it at length. But when they do something wrong, they can't handle it at all. They're completely emotionally incapable of being a productive adult. Narcissists are children in adult bodies. They are real. I mean, you could be with a 60-year-old narcissist, but emotionally they're 2 years old. So if they do something unacceptable, something you're angry about, no, it could be something minor, it could be something very severe. It doesn't really matter because they don't handle anything. So they'll just shut you down. You become invisible to them. It's abuse. You know, if you think about prison systems, this is something that prison systems will do to punish prisoners. They will take their identity away. They're not a person anymore. They're a number. You know, they're not allowed to talk unless the prison guard says it's okay. It's punishment. And this is what's happening to you in your own relationship. And this is a relationship where you would be expected to have, communication. It's your husband, it's your wife, it's your parent, it's your child, whoever it is. And they refuse. It tells you exactly who they are. Somebody who loves you wouldn't be capable of treating you that way. Nobody who has character and integrity would give a silent treatment. Now, this goes both ways, men and women. But, in my case, I'm talking about my husband. And just like from a man's perspective, a man is supposed to be, the leader of the house, the take charge guy. And they're just absolutely rescinding on their responsibilities. And, especially if you have children with the person, they're showing your children that this is acceptable behavior to just erase you. When you are given the silent treatment, it registers in your brain just like you had a broken arm. It shows physical pain. It's painful. And I used to believe that my husband didn't know. He didn't know I was so upset, or he wasn't able to communicate with me. Now I know that he absolutely knew what he was doing. He was doing it on purpose. It made him happy. Because the sad reality is that when someone's giving you the silent treatment, they're happy. They like to see you in pain because you're constantly in competition with them. You don't realize it, but you're playing a game all the time, and the narcissist must win. So when you're hurting, they're happy. They're taking control of the relationship, because somebody who has no control over themselves, no control over their emotions or their life, who has to live a fake life like they're actors all the time, doesn't have any power. You have the power, but during a silent treatment, they just snatch it away from you. And so then you're left powerless. The way you feel during a silent treatment is how the narcissist feels all the time, out of control and desperate. You're so desperate to make sense of your reality. You want all the bad things to go away. And a lot of times, especially at the beginning when this first starts happening, you are willing to forgive and forget, and you tell the other person you're sorry, or you are okay with what happened. You don't because the person can't discuss it, because that would be a sign of emotional maturity. So what the narcissist wants you to do is feel so bad, so out of control, that you are willing to do anything to fix the situation. So you will apologize when you did nothing wrong. You're willing to forget the whole situation, even though you know you shouldn't. You're willing to just move forward as if it didn't happen. And then the narcissist will be happy as anything, and they won. They don't have to talk about anything. The issue is out in the open, so you can't be mad at them anymore, and everything is dealt with and no problem. And next time they step out of line, you will pay, and then you'll be trained that what you do is you apologize when the other person does something wrong, and the other person gets to have a happy life, and you are left miserable, just living this fake life that you don't know you're living. And this will happen more and more as a relationship goes on. And then, one or two things happens. If you're in a relationship with a narcissist, you're going to end up living this life all the time where you're always walking on eggshells, afraid that the person's going to shut you out, never knowing when they're going to be upset, because you don't always know when a silent treatment is going to go. It could happen for any number of reasons. So you're always living in fear. And that is what happens. It's no life for you. It's a great life for the narcissist, because they already know how horrendous their life is. They already know the mess that they've made of their own lives. So if they can con you into, supporting this lifestyle, well, that's great for them. There's no regard for you. You're left scared and alone in a relationship when you're supposed to be loved and taken care of. And then, if you have children, they're watching this. They're absorbing this toxic environment. It's a terrible situation for everybody but the narcissist. So if you're given the silent treatment, ideally what you really need to do is take it as the wake-up call that it is. And if it's early in the relationship, and you're not financially, dependent on the person, or you don't have kids and you can walk away easily, it really is the best thing, because I know people always think that they can change everybody. There are so many people that have been in these relationships with narcissists, and there's nobody that is able to say, oh yeah, my husband used to be a narcissist, but now he's the greatest guy ever. They don't change. So when you're given the silent treatment, it's a wake-up call. And if you can use it as the wake-up call that it is only going to make your life better. And I understand it's painful, and I know that people don't want to hear this. I didn't want to hear this when I first learned about this, because I used to think, well, I can change him. He'll get better. Now I know I can help him. No, that's not how it works. It just isn't. It's horrible. But there is no relationship, So if you want to be in a relationship where you are being used by someone, you could probably make it work. But then you're going to be walking on eggshells all the time, living a miserable existence with a mentally unhinged person. So what you need to do is, I don't know if anyone's ever heard of Dr. Ramani. Probably, if you watch narcissism videos. It's Ramani. She's wonderful, and she has this thing called radical acceptance. And it's where you have to accept who the person is. And if you're staying with the person, understand the realities of what that means. And if you're leaving the person, gather information. There's a process to leaving a narcissist, because they don't make it easy on you, because they're always playing this game and they're not afraid to hurt you. So I hope this video helped people understand that the silent treatment is abuse, and that it really could be the wake-up call for you to start a new and improved life. But I absolutely understand that it's not an easy situation at all, and I really feel for everybody. I'm going through this myself, so I completely understand. So thank you for watching this video. I hope you enjoyed it, and I am trying to make a video 3 times a week, so I will see you in the next video. Bye-bye.